Hello, welcome to Chicken Happy Hour at Cedar Woods Farm. Carl and Stella and I all hope that you are doing well. Come here, Carl. We have got a fabulous cocktail that we're going to make for you today, and I've named it something since it's Halloween and it's October, something that I've kind of been researching here lately. So we'll talk about that in just a second, but this is, well, Stella's giving you a money shot here. This is a vodka drink, and it is super simple. You only need vodka, sweet vermouth, and Angostura bitters, and some ice. Really, that is it. All right, so, and there have been some things to happen on the farm. I haven't videoed in, I guess, close to a week and a half, maybe. So anyway, I'll tell you about that. There's always good and usually a little bad too that goes on a farm. So we will discuss it all. But first, let's discuss Lizzie Borden. You know this story, right? I grew up, I think I was maybe 6 or 7 years old when the movie came out in the 70s called The Legend of Lizzie Borden. And if you haven't seen it, you can watch it. I watched it yesterday. I think it was on YouTube. So I highly recommend it. I mean, it's a movie from the 70s, but there's another one that just came out last year called Lizzie that I also want to watch, but I didn't want to pay for it, so I haven't seen that one yet. But you remember the poem, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Right? You've heard that? I'm not crazy remembering that. And actually there are some inaccuracies with that. It wasn't her mother, it was her stepmother. And it wasn't an axe, it was a hatchet. And it was 19, I think, whacks, 19 and 11, respectively. So yeah, there's that. But the whole thing with Lizzie Borden, I mean, it was probably the most notorious, unsolved murder up to that time period that had ever happened. And so all of the U.S. was, everybody was just holding their breath to see what was going to come out of it, because basically a man and his wife were murdered. Their daughter, well, her stepdaughter, was the main suspect. And, this was a wealthy, educated family, religious. She was a Sunday school teacher. So it was just not the norm. It was so unbelievable, I guess, for people to think that Lizzie Borden was 32, to think that somebody, like that could commit such a heinous crime. So anyway, very just infamous. They never figured it out. She was acquitted. So, she was acquitted, and then it was just dropped. So they never figured out who did it. But anyway, that's a little bit about Lizzie Borden. And what we're going to make is a red vodka martini, a rosso vodka martini, rosso being Italian for red. And but I've decided to rename it the Lizzie Borden cocktail. Okay? And so, Stella, let's make this drink. And Carl was right here. I think Carl is kind of on strike. There you go. Okay, this happened last time. All right. Something I forgot. This is another reason I really wanted Stella here. Something that happened in May of 1892, which was the year that these axe murders happened. So let me back up. Lizzie Borden, there was a barn behind their house, right? So they had this big old mansion-y house, barn behind it, pear tree in the backyard. She had pet pigeons, and she had built, like, there was a roost. Well, I don't know that she built it, but there was a roost in the barn, and she would go out there and I guess hang out with the pigeons. Her father in May decided, and I don't know if they had like argued. They often didn't get along from what I've read. But long story short, he went out and butchered all the pigeons. Okay. Now, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they ate them for dinner, but regardless, I would think that wouldn't set well. So that happened. Then in June or July, he started talking about changing his will, and he also started gifting his stepwife, or not her, but her family members, land. Like, he gave her sister a house, because like I said, he was wealthy. But the daughters, I'm sure, were dismayed at that. So there were some things, not that any of that is worthy of killing somebody with an axe, but I'm just saying there were some things leading up to August 4th, 1892, which is when the murders happened. I also read that he had a lot of enemies. I mean, he was a businessman, so yeah, if you're somebody with money, you're going to have enemies. But yeah, just so many interesting, so many chinks, so many things to look at. Stella. Okay, she just pooped on me and then flew away. So anyway, that's a little bit about Lizzie Borden. Like I said, I don't know why I have been so... Okay, hopefully you can't see that. I don't know why I've been so into it since the 70s, but I have. So that's Lizzie Borden. I think it's because they never figured it out. It's just, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. All right, so get your vodka. Bob just scared the crap out of me. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't have to run around the table today and to turn my phone on, because I got a ring light finally. So I think that the light is a little better. It's got a remote. I should have done this a year ago because it was like $25. Amazon. All right, so here's what you need to do. You need to get your shaker of ice, and you need a chilled glass. Mine was. We are going to put 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, oh, look at that. Yeah, I've got some stuff to show you after this. That just happened 30 minutes ago. Just happened. And then we need 3 ounces of vodka. So I'm going to do 1 and 2. Carl. Come here, Carl. Come here. Come here. Hold on just a second. Carl! Carl! Oh, okay. All right, Carl, sit down. You want 2 dashes of Angostura, however you say it, bitters. And you can shake this, but you don't really need to. We're just going to stir it. I almost hit you with the spoon, Carl. Yes, man. All right. That seems good enough to me. And then you are going to strain. It's not as red as I wanted it to be. Because, you know, the whole Lizzie Borden thing. I wanted it to be really red. I should have brought grenadine, maybe, to make it red. But anyway, no, stop it. Anyway, let's try the Lizzie Borden. Oh, that's really good. Yeah. I like it. I'm trying to think if I would do anything differently, but I don't know. I don't know that I would. I mean, it's strong. It is a sipper, right, Carl? But it's good. I wish it were redder. I wanted it to be, you know, blood red. I hear a really weird noise and everybody is freaking out. So let me tell you what's happened. We'll start with the bad. A hawk got a chicken. So, you know, that happens. That's probably one of the biggest predators. But what's weird about it is that my chickens are not ever out of this area. So that was the horrible part of it. I came up here. This was the Friday after, or the day after the last time I videoed, which was on a Thursday. And I'd already been up here, and I came up again like mid-morning, I don't know, an hour later, and there was a hawk in this back, I don't know if you remember, but there's this addition back here, chicken wire all around it, top flight netting all across it. And so there's no way anything can get in, except for the fact that there was a tiny slit in the netting. And hawks, this was a Cooper's hawk, so they're a little smaller than a red tail. But he had figured it out. I guess he had been staking the place out and had gotten in, and he killed one of the little crested, the chickens with the crazy feathers on top of their head, which was tragic because I only have had two of those, and they were inseparable, these 2 chickens. I mean, they were just best buddies. So, and I had even said, oh my gosh, if anything happens to one of these chickens, the other one is going to be bereft and distraught. And she has been. So it got the smaller one, the black and white one. Erica Jane is the blonde one is still here, and I ought to show you her today because it's been raining, and her hair, oh my gosh, she is a fright. But anyway, so it was horrible. That was horrible, and the hawk was still in there flapping around. Horrible. Everybody was freaked out. So there's that. So I corrected him. If you've seen the movie The Shining, you know what that means. So So that's one thing. That's the bad thing that happened. But a good thing is, well, a couple of good things. First of all, actually, there's 3 good things. So the Archangel pigeons, they're the newest ones, the brown and black ones. I'll show you them in just a second. I thought they were 2 girls. Well, turns out it's a boy and a girl because they have started a nest. So that's really cool because they are gorgeous birds. So I'm excited about that. There's another thing with the pigeon news, but I'll come back to that. Another, just in general, good thing is that there has been a Becky sighting. And if you remember from, 4 months ago maybe, I did a weepy video about how the peacocks, I had 2 peacocks, Bob and Becky, both male, and we had decided, because they had started picking on the chickens, we had decided to put them out. And they, there's woods, they would roost and whatever. And that lasted, a week or less. And Becky disappeared, and then within a day or 2, Bob had disappeared. Well, we found Bob. A neighbor called, and because I had sent an email out. And so we went, collected Bob, brought him back. But just kind of figured that Becky was gone forever, because Becky was the one with the wonky leg, which is weird because now I have a wonky leg hen that I need to take. I still haven't taken her to the vet. Anyway, Becky was sighted yesterday, close, like within half mile as a crow flies, I guess. And Becky is now running with wild turkeys. Wild turkeys and another peacock that's brown. And I didn't even know those. I don't know. Are there wild peacocks, or it's a peacock, another one that escaped from somebody's farm? I have no idea. But it was brown. So yay, Becky is alive. Crazy, because it's been so long. And Bob is still here. I'll show you Bob when I stand up, because the other pigeon news item is we have to go in. So I recommend this. It is strong. It's a little, like, almost spicy, I guess, because of the bitters. But I like it. I really do like it. It is a sipper, though. You don't want more than one. Okay, let me turn. Well, maybe I'm not going to turn the light off. I'll show you this new